Welcome back to the Bates Kitchen. The other week we did the chicken parmigiana and everybody was asking about Tammi Weed's homemade marinara sauce that they make every year and wanting the recipe. So she has agreed to come back and we are going to learn the recipe to make that marinara sauce. She's like, it's super easy, takes about 30 minutes, and here she is.
Hey, so good to be back. Thanks, Zach.
Yes, I'm glad to have my real Italian in the kitchen.
Okay, the thing about marinara is that it is so simple, but it makes you feel like you've really accomplished something. The whole house smells like onions and garlic.
It felt like we really accomplished something with that chicken parmigiana, honestly.
It's the best. It's better than restaurant. So it's just like, cooking is so rewarding, right?
Yes.
The only way you really want to do it is when you cook good food and it's easy and it's fun. So that's what we're going to do today with our marinara. So Zach, before we even start the marinara, if you want to be a real Italian, you're going to have to make some bruschetta because we Italians get hungry when we cook. So.
I love this. I'm always hungry.
Okay, good. So
what do we do for bruschetta?
I've got this delicious loaf of fresh bread. We're going to cut it on the bias. We're going to toast it, drizzle it with some olive oil, and then I'm going to show you my secret trick to make this really pop. So you want to cut it?
Absolutely.
So Italians also like to boss people around in the kitchen. So this is like
You'd fit right in our house. Now, do you cut it like at an angle that way too?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep, you're good. I won't get too caught up on how you cut your bread. But the secret to an incredible crostini is once you get it toasted and it's golden, we're gonna rub and grate fresh garlic on it.
On the other side, I just realized I can't do it that way. I had my broken thumb, so I was cutting all from my left hand, and now I'm back to my right hand, and it's like, wait a minute here.
Of course, I give you the job that you need your thumb for.
Well, no, I've learned how to do it again. I've learned how to do it more than one way.
Okay.
This stuff is thinner.
No, you're great. You're perfect. I was just gonna say, while you're cutting, I will talk about the tomatoes that we're gonna use.
Perfect.
So my mom, she always likes a Roma tomato or, tomato on the vine, but I love these tiny little ones. These are cherry bomb tomatoes. They're on the vine too. They pack a lot of flavor. So we're gonna use these just because they're easy and they're small and they're delicious. Any tomato you have on hand is gonna work for this.
So what kind of bread is this? Because
that's just an Italian bread.
Just an Italian bread, because it's got a great outside crust and this super tender inside.
Italians love crusty bread. Don't give us the soft white American bread. Like, we want crusty bread.
Americans. I think that's about enough. We shouldn't eat all that.
No, that's fine.
Okay, we'll take the rest of the big house.
The funny thing is, my mom, she's always like, I'm like, Mom, you're so Italian. She's like, I'm American. I'm like, Mom, I know you're American, but you're also Italian. And when you have an Italian mom, the whole family's Italian.
This is how we do it. Do you get to do the thing?
Yeah, so we're gonna make bruschetta. How do you pronounce it?
Bruschetta. However I'm trying to do it how you just did it, so I don't sound like a country bumpkin.
The funny thing is, Americans, when you say bruschetta, they're gonna make fun of you and they're gonna say it's bruschetta. But if you were in Italy, they would make fun of you and say no, it's bruschetta. So we're gonna say bruschetta for the Italians.
The kids all still talk. Mom actually still talks about that big trip y'all took to Italy.
That was one of my
She says,
favorite.
if you could just go and just eat that one time, Zach.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna have to get a passport.
We had so much fun. Especially with your dad driving on those tiny little narrow roads. Your mom and I cracked up. Like, I can still hear her laughing. Okay, so now we've got to get some olive oil on these.
You gave me that really good
Oh yeah, let me grab that. This is what we call liquid gold. So this is the olive oil that you want to use like when you are making a salad. So we're going to put this in our tomatoes, but just for the sake of fun, like, let's pour a little on this and see if you can taste the difference. This is.
You don't even wait to toast it. When she says the Italians like to eat, she's like, we're going to start right at it.
But it's so peppery, and I don't know, like, once you have good olive oil, you don't go back, right? So this tiny little bottle is probably like $30, but it is so worth it. And that's kind of the essence of Italian cooking. It's like, we want to spend good money on good quality products.
It's the little things though, just a little taste difference from just the regular old plastic bottle of Walmart.
You don't need a lot of ingredients. We need olive oil, we need tomatoes, we need basil, right? So
what do we do to finish this now?
So we're gonna use some of your liquid gold. And we're just gonna drizzle.
Just a little drizzle, I see.
Okay, and then in the oven it goes.
Just like that? Nothing else?
No, if you wanna like spread that olive oil around, you can.
I'm gonna just stick it in.
But that's perfect, just the way it is.
400?
Yep, 400, 425, just to get a golden brown. All right, so now we're gonna get our tomatoes together. So again, any tomato you have, we can even use a mixture, but we're just gonna cut these into bite-sized pieces. So do you want me to do that, or you got it?
What's a bite-sized piece?
Well,
Like just cut them in half?
Yeah, I cut them in half and quarters, yeah.
Half and quarters?
Yeah.
You stick them up.
Perfect.
You stick them up here, and I'll cut them up.
Okay. So we'll do that. And again, any tomato you like, not fancy. And then what's really gonna be—
What would the authentic Italians use?
they would probably use Roma tomatoes.
What would your mom say?
A Roma tomato.
A Roma tomato.
Yeah.
But the Americans say use whatever.
Or anything fresh from the garden, you know, it's summer, right? So the most important thing though, over your tomatoes is your basil. We want fresh basil for this. And I mean, it just smells amazing.
I could smell it when you brought it in.
I know. It's that one scent that always brings me back
With the rest of those tomatoes cut?
Oh yeah. The one scent that brings me back to summer, it brings me back to like my mom in the kitchen. It's lovely. So
my poor basil plants aren't doing too good. My leaves keep turning pale green. I've got to text somebody about that.
No, I kill more basil plants than, you know, I would like to have admitted in my time, but it is what it is. Okay, so while you're doing that, we also need some salt, because what really we want is the flavor to come out of those tomatoes, and salt helps us do that.
Okay.
Which one is the salt? This one, right?
The one that says salt on it.
Oh.
In America, we just write on things.
Yeah. Okay, so now once we've got all of our tomatoes chopped, we're just gonna add some salt. And you don't wanna be afraid to add a nice amount of salt, because tomatoes, they need it. So you can taste as you go.
It's gonna pull that flavor out.
But salt brings everything to life. Okay, so we need a little spoon,
No
maybe.
good dish goes unsalted.
That's right. Oh, I like that. No good dish goes unsalted.
The sodium sensitive people hate it when I say that.
Well, that's true. Everybody does have a different salt tolerance, but now.
I love my salt.
Oh, look how beautiful that is. So gorgeous.
Oh, those turned out perfect, Tammy. Bruschetta in the house.
Perfetto.
What'd you call these?
That's crostini, yeah.
No,
So
you said perfetto.
Oh, perfetto, that's perfect in Italian. That's like one of the few words I know. But I can
It
make
sounds so authentic.
I know. Parlo molto poco italiano. I know, I can speak very little Italian. Okay, so now though, the magic. Let's move our tomatoes out of the way. The magic is going to be just smashing our garlic right over that toast.
With a vengeance.
That's right. Get mad. Okay, so there's one for you, and you're gonna watch
What am I gonna do?
This is going to melt over our toast.
Oh, I can feel it. It's like rubbing hot butter over hot bread.
That's right. So honestly, this is a really important step.
I need a bigger piece. My little thumb isn't happy holding little pieces.
Well, it does melt, you know.
Oh, it's actually melting?
Yeah, it actually melts.
I thought it was just filling that way.
It doesn't seem like it would be an important step, but I promise you, it just adds so much more
I seen
flavor.
Gordon Ramsay do this on a video one time, so it has to be authentic.
Yeah, if Gordon Ramsay watches this, I'm just gonna die because...
I didn't say Gordon Ramsay watched me do it on a video.
All right.
But if he does,
yeah, I know.
I hope he comments.
I need to put the disclaimer out there. I just like to cook. I'm not a professional. I just like to cook and I like to eat, as most
Same
Italians.
here, sister.
As most Italians do. Isn't that great?
That's amazing.
Right? Okay, so now we're gonna take our basil and we're just
I actually love to cook because I love to eat.
That's right, yeah.
The eating came first, then the cooking followed.
And you know, as somebody who goes out to dinner a lot, like there's still nothing better than like when you really have a delicious home cooked meal. And you know, I'm like.
I've learned too, even with nice restaurants, when I go and get something, I get disappointed way more often in my dishes than I do at home with a dish that I love to cook.
It's so true. But I do have a question. Like, what's that one menu item? Like, when you see it, you have to get it. Like, if it's there, you're gonna get it.
Whitney's is hands down lobster mac and cheese.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always, if it says ossobuco, I'm after it.
Really?
Oh, I'm crazy about that.
That's a pricey item.
Well, I said high-end restaurants. And, you know, the rest of the time, I just kind of look over the menu, or a lot of times I'll just ask the waitress, what's the best thing here?
I'm always like...
Because they're always honest. They'll be like, well, I like this.
Yeah.
Or if you ask them, have you tried this? I haven't tried that before. Well, I ain't getting that either.
Right. No, for me, it would be cacio e pepe, which is cheese and pepper pasta. If I see that, like, I have to get that menu item, which is basically the American version of mac and cheese, but... It's
very simple. Well, it's a lot more simple than mac and cheese.
Yeah.
It's just like Do you have butter in it when you do it?
No, you actually
just use the cheese and the pepper.
And the water, the salted water.
The pasta water.
Yep. Okay, so
I'll cheat and add a little butter to mine. I just love a little butter in everything.
Yeah, no, that's, some Italians do that. Okay, so now we've got this gorgeous, beautiful tomato salad, but we're gonna make it a little caprese and just add a little fresh mozzarella to it as well.
Okay.
Okay, you could just leave it like this. A lot of times in the summer, my family, because this is your traditional bruschetta, but sometimes we'll add like cucumber to this salad or avocado, and that's phenomenal too. But we're gonna go straight traditional Italian. And so we're gonna add a little fresh mozz.
Just little cubes, huh?
I mean, you can even do little slices. That would probably be great.
I honestly should have cooked this with something. This is a great appetizer.
It is.
I should cook this next time we have a family party or something, honestly.
You know, you've inspired me. I'm just gonna lay a little bit on each toast. And that way, you don't wanna mix this with your tomatoes because
it'll just get all the oil and water.
Yeah, it won't mix well. But you can either cube it or we can put it just like that. And then we're gonna take our mixture.
This is before we even make our sauce.
I mean, how delicious does this look?
It looks amazing.
If you really wanted to be fancy, you can add a little balsamic glaze, but the truth is my family, we're not as big into balsamic as everyone else, so we just love this.
Simpler sometimes, less is more with food a lot of times.
Yeah.
But I'm not against a little balsamic
Yeah, you do
either.
that. I'm gonna go traditional, you do that. But that's probably traditional too, but see, that's beautiful. Like that is a restaurant quality.
That honestly, I could have made a whole episode just on the bruschetta.
The bruschetta.
The bruschetta, pardon me. Cheers.
Cheers. So good.
I need to
Simple.
start taking that everywhere I go.
Yeah, so good, so simple. And honestly, it just makes you feel kind of like a chef, right? I love it.
I definitely feel like I could make some sauce now. And I love the way that crisp layer of the top, those crisp sides, and that very soft underside of that bread is just absorbing that tomato sauce and basil. It's just soaked in there so well. So
now you've conquered this, like we can move you on to the big sauce, the Sunday sauce.
Okay, so now that we've eaten our bruschetta,
now that you're a pro,
now that I'm Italian, let's start cooking.
Okay, so we are gonna do a classic marinara sauce, which is tomato, onion, garlic, maybe a little red chili pepper flake.
Simple as it gets.
So simple, and once you make this, it's gonna be really hard to go back to anything store-bought.
Okay, I love things that are better than store-bought.
All right, ready? You get the garlic, I'll do the onions.
What am I doing? Mincing, dicing?
Just chop, yeah, finely chop.
Chopping, finely chop, okay. How many?
Let's do 4 to 5.
4 to 5. We'll always go with 5 then. Or 6.
Yeah.
I love, to me, my favorite part about Italian food is garlic. Now, some of my family hates garlic.
Really?
Hates onion. If it's got garlic or onion, they want to eat it. And I try to tell them the stuff in the...
Which one?
Pretty much all of them.
Really?
Trace especially. Trace don't even like to put garlic on his steaks.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
But a lot of them are just, they don't love all the different things. You're like, hey, well, that's in the sauce that you buy at the store too, you know?
Yeah.
Nah.
That is so interesting to me. No, I don't know, it melts. That's the best thing about these onions. We're gonna do finely chopped onions, finely chopped garlic. It's just gonna melt in the sauce. Like maybe they won't even know it.
We're not gonna tell them. Don't watch the video if you don't like garlic. You're just gonna wanna eat this sauce and try it.
But.
Now y'all do this sauce, we were talking about, y'all do this sauce every year. It's like an annual, you had some videos of it you showed us back when we were filming of all y'all, and Mom was obsessed with it.
Well, growing up, my mom and my dad, they would always be making our tomato sauce, and when we went off to college, we'd call home and we'd say, Mom, what are you doing? And she's like, well, I'm making sauce. And it was like every time we called her, she was making sauce. And then finally, one summer, she said, listen, if you wanna like eat the sauce, you're gonna have to help make the sauce.
Because every time they said make the sauce, somebody was coming home and getting some.
That's right. So we would always take from her inventory, and now we all get together. We, like my sisters and I, all of like their kids, my parents, we all try to get everything done in one day. So we make enough sauce. among the whole family, like to last a year in one day.
Who's the keeper of the sauce?
Okay, so my sisters are, and then I'll just take from their inventory as I need it. But it's like signing out a library book. They're like, what do you need it for? Who are you taking it to? You know? But no, we love sauce, and it's just so handy to have. So it's become not only a family tradition, but honestly, like I don't know what we would do without our sauce. So. And it starts so many things. Like if you've got tomato sauce, you can use it in your chili, you know, like there's just so many purposes for it. Soups. So we don't always just make a standard marinara.
So what kind of sauces do you make?
Well, I mean, I do tomato cream. You can use this sauce. You could do a tomato soup. Like seriously, the options are endless. But most traditionally, like in my family, like yeah, we're gonna do this red sauce. If we wanted to get crazy, we'd put a little pesto inside that, like in that sauce, and let that melt. Yeah,
that's
a little
really basil pesto.
In fact, that's what I do for my pizza sauce. I just take the red sauce and I put some pesto in it. So good. All right, I'm good with my onions.
With my pizza sauce, I'm as simple as it gets. I literally crush the tomatoes. Wow, your onion is making me cry.
I know, me too.
I should put a little towel beside my cutting board. Somebody told me on my
comments.
A wet towel?
A paper towel?
Yeah, that it takes away the...
It helps, it doesn't take away.
Well, okay. I need help.
All right, so next up, we've got our onions and our garlics chopped. If you want to hand tear the basil, I will just give the parsley a quick chop.
Hand tear?
Yeah. I know. I mean, it really doesn't matter, but you know how like every Italian family does things differently.
You know, one of the things I love, you talk about your family cooking, and that's what I love. Growing up at the big house, we used to cook together as a family occasionally for different meals and stuff, even though Mom did a lot of the cooking, or some of the sisters. But with my kids, that's one thing that I try to do. We've actually had Casey. She loves to cook with me. So she came on and did her cake pops. And Bradley came on, he did no-bake cookies, which incidentally was the first thing I ever made from a recipe as a kid. But Casey, she wants to do some of the more complicated dishes. And now that she's getting bigger, I'm starting to teach her, you know, okay, let her use a knife, things like that. And I'm so excited about that, because the family that cooks together, well, they eat together, and if the family eats together, they stay together, so.
No, but honestly, it's so, I mean, I think it's one of those life skills that if you can teach your kids, I mean, one, they'll have forever, but it's becoming more and more rare, you know? It's like the
and it's quality time though, too, to me.
And traditions.
The joy of eating together as a family. We had the big table at the big house, and we still get together and eat with the family occasionally, try to have the family parties, so that's a big part of hanging out. But then cooking is almost like even a little more intimate setting with you know, one or two kids, and you talk about things and you learn things and tell stories and make memories, and that's the childhood I want my kids to have.
I love it. No, that's how it is in my family. I mean, like we are so, we're always about food. It's like, that's our favorite subject. Food is our favorite subject.
Food is my favorite subject. I crushed these a little bit, and you can really start smelling those aromatics.
Yeah, you did crush them.
I like
Gentle, Zach. Okay, so let's get our pan going. We're gonna saute our olive oil with our garlic and onions, and then our herbs.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so we're gonna start our sauce. Now, in a medium skillet, you're gonna add some olive oil. You add all the ingredients, I'll boss you around, and then I'll stir. Now we're gonna add our onions. And
is that enough olive oil?
Yeah, that's perfect. We just wanna coat the pan. Yep, love it. Great. And we're gonna let these saute just a little bit. And they're gonna sort of be the nest to our garlic, because garlic burns really easily, and that's the last thing you want.
You don't want burn, that's a horrible taste. That's not the taste you're looking for.
Yeah, no, we don't want any burnt onions, no burnt garlic, because that will actually make your sauce bitter, and we're not gonna have time for that today.
Got a little onion skin in there.
What I do like to do though, if you don't mind a little spice, is some red pepper flakes.
Oh yes, we love some red pepper flakes.
Let's do that.
I'll just do a little bit because some of my family doesn't love,
that's perfect. Everybody has a different tolerance.
I love it spicy. I actually put crushed red pepper on top of my spaghetti when I'm done. In this case, when we finish this sauce, we'll probably make chicken parmigiana again.
That's right.
So good last time.
So once our onions, you know, start to sizzle, we're gonna smell it. Then I'm gonna add some garlic, or you're gonna add the garlic, and then we'll add a little bit of tomato paste. Now, my family, we do the whole sauce fest thing. We don't necessarily have to put paste in our sauce, but when you are using your canned tomatoes, it probably is a good idea.
So if I was using fresh San Marzano, I had to read that again. San Marzano tomatoes, if I was using fresh ones, I wouldn't need the paste. Because it's kind of going to thicken itself.
You know, we kind of make our sauce, but this, when you're doing it, it depends on the consistency. Like if you like a thicker
I like
sauce,
a little thick.
yeah.
Especially with like something like chicken parmigiano, like we made last time. It's going to kind of build up.
This is going to give you a really rich flavor, so it's always a good thing. And then we're going to add our garlic.
One thing that's really easy if you're cooking on a stovetop and you want to know, when do I add the next ingredient? When are these ingredients ready? Your nose is the best part of telling you when it's ready to go to the next place. I'm going to kind of just dump this across here.
Honestly, that's perfect, but I stand by that. And you know, like a lot of the mistakes that people make with chicken is they overcook it, right? But as soon as you smell chicken, like
you're close. You need to check that temp.
Absolutely. So,
and you can always too with meats as well, but you can always pull off and remember that something's going to climb 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 degrees depending on what temp you're cooking at once you pull off.
Yep, protein continues to cook. So, all right. Yeah, give it a
I'm gonna go till I can't do the little flip. I'm trying to get back with my wrist, but I tried learning that little flip, but I can at least get it even across. I can do the shake and get it even across the bottom there.
No, I love it. Okay.
You can start smelling that garlic just a little bit now. It's starting to get a little bit of smell there. The onion's not quite translucent yet. Well, your eyes is the next best thing. So cooking, we're gonna use our senses. We're gonna smell, then we're gonna look for onion. You're going to see the translucence. You know, if we were cooking with butter here, one of the great ways to tell if you're preheated to the right temp to not burn is you want to put your butter down on the pan and watch it just start to sizzle a little bit. If it starts to turn brown, you're too hot.
All right, now let's add a little bit of tomato paste. And I would say, like, let's do like 3 to 4 tablespoons. Perfect.
So not a lot.
Maybe a little more, yeah.
I'm not a good judger of tablespoons and squirt bottle.
Are you kidding? Like Italians, we do not use measuring.
Maybe my mom is Italian. She's got an Irish maiden name, but you never know. Somebody could have swam across the channel or something.
No, my dad is Italian by association or by marriage now. So.
Well, you told us in the last one. Once you have one Italian in the family, everybody's Italian, right?
Well, when you have an Italian mother, the whole family's Italian.
Okay,
That's true.
so it's got to be an Italian mother.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can change my mom out.
That's not necessarily true because my best friend Sarah, she's like, I'm Italian now. So you know, it's a vibe. It's an energy.
It's a vibe. It's an energy. Well, it's some dang good food, I'll tell you that.
Okay, so
now this is where you'd add your wine sauce. If I had like a Sauvignon or some Chardonnay or something.
Yeah.
Cabernet.
We like to add just a little bit of wine for depth and richness, but
I'm definitely going to do that when I'm making my own. I wish I'd have known I'd have grabbed some.
I know. Okay, so now let's add our can of San Marzano.
I can't be.
Yep.
I was still talking about wine. I'm like, what is a San Marzano?
Okay.
Just the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Sauce and all.
Close? Okay, yeah. You're getting a little speedy there. Okay, now if you want to put a little water in that can, perfect. Just swirl it around. Okay. And then put that into our sauce too.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. All right, now we're
just gonna mash it.
Yeah, and again, if you wanted to be really fancy and you wanted a like very fine sauce, like you could put these tomatoes through a food mill. We're not gonna do that. Like I don't mind a little chunky.
I like a little chunky. It gives it that
texture.
Fresh taste. It's almost like fresh salsa. What would fresh salsa be if you pureed it? Talk.
So anyways, but now we're just gonna we've done the hard work. Oh, you know what we need to do? And I know you've got plenty of them. We need a Pecorino Romano rind.
Oh yes, we've got the rinds.
Let's do that. That is such a great way to use your cheese rinds.
So I have the rind from when you made the chicken Parmesan at my house.
Put it in, perfect.
And then I have some Parmigiano Reggiano rinds as well. So.
All right, we've got
way too much cheese, but can you really ever have too much cheese? We've got the entire smorgasbord of Italian cheeses.
We've got all of the regions of cheese.
Mozzarella doesn't have a rind, so we're good there.
No, that's perfect. Now I would, the rind is gonna bring some saltiness to it, but we're still gonna need more because tomatoes need a ton of salt.
No good dish goes unsalted.
No good dish goes
unsalted. Let me grab some salt and pepper. I'll let you put that in because I don't want to over salt it.
Yeah, that's the thing with tomatoes though. Wait.
That's the pepper.
This is the pepper.
It's the one with the pea.
I know,
you did that last time.
This pea is hidden. But tomatoes need a ton of salt. So don't be afraid. And keep in mind, we are gonna put this over our chicken and over our pasta, so.
I would say if I was making just spaghetti with this, I would go a little bit heavier with my salt. But if I'm doing it with the Parmigiana, with the chicken Parmigiana, the chicken's a little bit salty, so I don't quite need as much salt in the sauce. So if I knew what I was making it for, I'd probably err on the side of a little less salt or more salt, but you can always add salt.
The good news is that you taste as you go. You season as you go and you taste as you go. And my mother tells me, never serve food that you haven't tasted. So.
Oh, well.
He's tasting too early.
Don't say taste twice.
Okay.
We can wait a little bit. I can be patient, but I'm gonna stand here with a spoon awkwardly.
Let's do it. Okay, let's do it. We'll just see where we are because I feel like this is gonna need some help.
You worked with me long enough to know that I'm not the most patient.
I know. We need
salt.
We need salt.
I mean pepper.
And pepper a little bit, and then we just need
garlic.
We just need it to cook down. Like really, that's really
the garlic and onion is strong. One thing you want to do too, especially with cooking sauces, is time is your friend. Don't get in a rush. You don't need to turn your eye all the way up to high as it goes. That's for boiling water. You're never going to use that high of heat a lot of times without scorching something. And then you're going to hurt your sauce. So turn it down, let it sit. Once you get to that simmer, turn it down and just let it simmer on low until the time has elapsed that you need. This is going to be about, what, 20 minutes on this one?
Yep, 20 minutes.
20 minutes. And those flavors will start coming together a lot better in that low heat than if you crank that heat up to get it there really fast and scorch the bottom of your sauce, and then everything tastes burnt.
All right, we were simmering. Let's cover it, and we'll let this baby sit for like 20 minutes.
I can't wait to taste this.
So good.
So smelling this in the house, I have truly been dying to taste it.
Yeah.
So I got some more of that bruschetta.
I love it. The bruschetta.
Bruschetta. I can't tell which way I'm supposed to say this now. I honestly should have just made the chicken parm again, to be honest.
No, this is just enough.
Oh my word. You can truly just taste the sauce on the bruschetta. And it's like, got a hint of sweetness to it.
Well, it's sweet because it's a quality tomato. You know, people put a lot of sugar in their tomato sauce. We do not. That is a no-no in my family. But
so good.
Quality tomatoes, really simple ingredients, onions, basil, parsley.
You can taste the simplicity with this. It's craving a little bit of pasta with it.
Yeah.
And it's perfection.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of hard work in a jar.
It is a lot of hard work in a jar, and it is very worth it. I can tell you right now, if you are somebody that wants to go out and try making your own marinara sauce one time, this one is so easy, it's so simple, but it is truly perfection.
Yeah, you won't want to go back to store-bought.
If you are looking for a good marinara sauce that is just simple, fresh ingredients, it's actually very good for you. There's nothing in here that's not loaded with vitamins and nutrients. Get yourself some quality ingredients and make this one time, and I promise you'll probably never buy a store-bought can of marinara sauce ever again.
Guaranteed.
You will thank Tammi Weed and her Italian family later.
Grazie.